Hey there, VCE HHD students. My name's Andy. I'm a VC Health and Human Development teacher. In this short video, we're looking at what score is an A plus in the HHD exam for Unit 3 and 4 HHD for the 2025 plus HHD study design. If you don't already, there's lots of ways you can engage with the Health Resources Hub. At the moment, if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to our channel with the button in the bottom corner of the video there. That means you get alerts to all of our new videos as they come out across the year. If you haven't already, please go back and have a look at our back catalogue on YouTube. We've got heaps of useful videos for Unit 1 to 4 HHD. Also got our website, the hrh.net.au, where there's opportunities for HHD students and teachers. And if you're a HHD student, we've got some SAC preparation sessions coming up for Unit 4 soon. So if you're interested in those, please go and check those out. Also got our TikTok, Facebook, and Instagram pages where you can follow us and get alerts to our new videos and other opportunities, as well as our email, info@hrh.net.au. We can get in touch with us. And also, if you haven't already, you'll see on our YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok pages, we've got our link tree. So if you click on that link there, you'll see all of the opportunities that are happening at the moment with the Health Resources Hub. So please check that out. Okay, so when we're talking about what is an A plus in a HHD exam, there's a few things to keep in mind. And so we're focusing on some of the new data that's just been released by the VCAA in the last few days for the 2024 VCE exams. And so one thing to keep in mind is that the score range for an A plus in VCE exams changes slightly from year to year. So we'll be focusing on what you needed to achieve in 2024 to receive an A plus, but that'll be slightly different for 2025. And it's slightly different for other years as well. It doesn't change a lot, so it gives you a good indication of what you might like to be striving for, okay, in 2025 if you're looking to achieve an A plus on the end of your exam. Also, a good thing to note is the HHD exam is marked at least twice by two different assessors at the end of the year. Sometimes it's marked by more than two different assessors, and that's part of the VCAA's quality assurance process to make sure all exams are marked fairly. And so what that means is when we're looking at some of this data, you'll see that the mark allocation for HHD and the range for an A plus is actually out of 200. And that's because the 2024 exam for HHD was out of 100. And so if it's marked twice, obviously all students then get a mark actually out of 200. We'll chat about what that means for 2025 soon as well, because the end of year exam is now out of 90 instead of out of 200. And so, as I said, this information that we're focusing on today is based on some of the VCAA data that's related to what you can see there's called the grade distributions for grade assessments in VCE, and that's been recently released on the VCAA website, and we'll have a look at some of that in a moment. Just a reminder, if you weren't already aware, I'm running some HHD exam revision lectures this year for 2025, and they have been released, the dates and the times, and so you can see those there. They're running online, so students can join from anywhere across the state in Victoria. And so you'll see there's also the opportunity, if you head to book.acevce.com, to combine HHD with other subjects and receive some really significant discounts, especially if you combine 2+ subjects. You can save over $20 per ticket. You can also bundle a HHD session with the revisions questions book I've also worked on this year with ACE, which has got over 500 marks worth of practice questions for HHD, which will help you in the lead up to the end of your exam. So as I said, head to book.acevce.com and there's some more information about all of that. Okay, so you can see here some of this data that I was mentioning has recently been released, and I'll help you interpret this information here. So you'll see there's a table here that's looking at the grade distribution for the HHD exam in 2024. And so over here you can see for an A+, they give you some information about males and females and gender X, and then the total information here. And then down the bottom here, they tell you what the score range is. So they're telling you here for an A+ in 2024, students need to receive between 147 to 200 out of 200. And so, as I mentioned before, the exam is marked, okay, at least twice at the end of year. So if you halve that number over here, that gives you the mark out of 100 that students needed to achieve an A+ in 2024. So you can see there, 73.5 out of 100 was the threshold for achieving an A+ in the exam in 2024. And so you can see over here, there's obviously other data about an A, a B plus, a B. So this can be useful because it means when it comes to your trial exams at the end of the year in 2025, when you're completing those and getting those marked by your teacher or marking them yourself, you can try to determine how well, okay, you're traveling. And so obviously it's a little bit different in 2025 because there has been a change, okay, for the revised study design. And the exam is now out of 90 instead of out of 100. So they've taken 10 marks off, okay, the exam. And hopefully that means that students will have a bit more time, okay, to answer the questions because they haven't changed the amount of time that's been allocated to the exam. So if you apply that percentage of 73.5% to that new end of year exam total of 90, you get 66.15. So that means that in theory, if you're completing trial exams and you're getting above 66 out of 90 at the end of the year and the lead up to the end of your exam, if you do end up replicating something similar to that, okay, you may be on track for an A plus in the end of your exam. As I did say at the beginning, it does slightly shift from year to year, okay, this value that you need for an A plus, but it gives you a bit of an indication, okay, of how you're traveling. So that's something to keep in mind as you're completing trial exams, okay, as you head into the end of your exam for 2025. Okay, hopefully you found this video useful. Just a reminder, there is that revision questions book that does have a full trial exam in it if you're looking for some extra trial exams to practice in the lead up to the end of your exam. It's also got full chapter, okay, on extended response questions and sample answers for all of those as well. So once again, you can head to book.acevce.com to check that out and order a copy. Thanks so much.